Hey everyone, and welcome to Cooking Companion TV. I'm Jenna Edwards, and this is a vegan recipe demo of 2-ingredient lentil flatbread from bloomingnolwen.com. It's protein-rich, gluten-free sandwich wraps, or even a pizza crust. An ideal way to use up those extra dried lentils. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and let's get right to it. We use split red lentils mixed with water to create a very basic shell for stuffing, like taco or a foundation for your favorite toppings. Here I'm stuffing it with my mayo-free, almost vegan coleslaw. Start by picking through the lentils to sort out debris. This is mostly a precaution since they're split and they've already been sorted, because split lentils are just skinned brown lentils. So pour 1 cup of dried lentils into a blender, ideally something high-powered, and process for about 30 seconds until it's a fine powder. Then we'll add a couple pinches of salt and even some spices, which is completely optional and customizable and really fun. I've added a pinch of ras el hanout because I have a lifetime supply of it from getting ripped off in a market in Morocco. But in the original recipe comment section, folks were adding diced shallots or herbs or grated garlic. So you can flavor lentil flatbreads to match however you're using them. Whisk in 1 1/4 cup of water and let it set for a few minutes to absorb. If you don't have a high-powered blender, you can soak the lentils beforehand, although it's not necessary, but it might help soften them up. And then blend the water, not the soaking water, but the recipe water, with the lentils. So I made this recipe twice, and the second time I blended the water and the split lentils at the same time, and it came out much smoother than what you see here. So I'm gonna divert from the recipe and say that that's what you should do. So heat a large pan over medium heat, maybe even medium-low heat, and pour in 1/2 teaspoon of oil. Then scoop out 1/3 cup of your batter and spread it out. I also used the back of the measuring cup, and I think that worked out a lot smoother and quicker. So go as thin or as wide as you want. I wanted a crepe-like consistency, so I went thinner. That also made them pretty fragile. So let them cook for 2 minutes or 3 minutes if it's thicker. Then flip them and cook for another minute, adding 30 to 60 seconds for thicker flatbreads. And this is literal times. Until you get an eye for doneness, I recommend setting a timer and being precise about it. Between flatbreads, you'll want to spread out the oil again and maybe even add in a touch more oil. I had to add oil every other flatbread and spread it out with a brush between the others. As they cool, I'd arrange them in the shape you plan on using them, because once they cool, they lose their flexibility. So if you anticipate using them like an open-faced sandwich or even a pizza-like recipe, or tearing it and using it as like pieces in a dip like injera, leave them flat. If you want to use them for sandwiches or a wrap, loosely fold them over. The ones you see here as I add the coleslaw were my second batch, where I blended the lentils with the water at the same time, and the batter came out much smoother. In total, this recipe makes 6 lentil flatbreads, which will go pretty quickly. They can last 2 to 3 days in the fridge, and they can be frozen. The texture is different from spinach crepes, the recipe I have on the channel, because there's fewer ingredients. We're just using water here. There's nothing to really bind the lentil flour together, which makes them a little fragile. So you don't want to overhandle them. But you should have lots of ways to use lentil flatbreads, especially because you can add those spices and herbs and the aromatics to them. That's it for this recipe of lentil flatbread by bloomingnolwen.com. Get the ingredient list below or at cookingcompaniontv.com/lentilbread. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to this channel for more demos just like this. I'm Jenna Edwards, and thanks for watching.